1,800 new infections on Sunday, bringing the number of active cases to over 24,600. The virus has killed 11 more patients. This brings the death toll to almost 9,900. Some 5,800 patients have recovered from COVID-19, bringing total recoveries to 485,000. The OCTA research team says the COVID-19 reproduction rate in Metro Manila is holding at a steady 1.12. This means that the trend of new infections, though still on an upward trajectory, has remained the same over the past week. The positivity rate in NCR also remained at 4%, below the 5% recommended by the WHO. This, however, is far from the situation in Benguet. The daily positivity rate now stands at 21%, with a weekly average of 16%. This suggests a higher rate of infection within the region, as more than half of the new cases in Benguet over the past week are from Baguio City. The World Health Organization says the entire planet is in a race against the coronavirus as it continues to mutate. WHO's top emergency expert, Mike Ryan, cautioned against unnecessary travel restrictions, while there isn't enough vaccines and scientific evidence to understand the variants. This as panel chairman Didier Husan pointed out that there is a great disparity among countries with regard to their response to the pandemic.
We are a little bit paralyzed, we are a little bit confused, and clearly the question of travel inside the world, around the world, by air, by road, by sea, needs to be better. I think we are in a race between the virus, who is going to continue trying to mutate in order to spread more easily, and the humanity which has to try to stop this spreading. And this effort of research needs to be very, very quick and very intense.
On the other hand, while a team of experts are currently investigating the origins of COVID-19, the WHO admitted that they may never find the supposed patient zero.
We need to be very careful about the use of the phrase patient zero, which many people indicate as the first initial case. We may never find who the patient zero was. What we need to do is follow the science. We need to follow the studies and make sure that they are done comprehensively.
Malacanang denies that Sinovac shots cost 3,600 pesos per dose. This as it stands by its decision to buy 25 million units of COVID-19 vaccines from the Chinese manufacturer. Palace spokesperson Harry Roque claims that the price of these Sinovac shots aren't far from the 650 pesos per dose given to Indonesia. However, this did not sit well with some officials. Vice President Leni Robredo appealed to the administration to tell the truth about the vaccines to avoid the dangerous spread of fake news. Robredo explained that the public has a right to know about the vaccine's efficacy and price, since the government did pay for it with taxpayers' money. Meanwhile, Senator Ping Lacson warns that large differences in vaccine prices in various countries could indicate corruption in the procurement process. However, Lacson added that the Senate may have done its share to save billions of pesos if Roque's claims were true. Senator Kiko Pangilinan also warned that the FDA not to be pressured by the gesture, since scientific data and not political goodwill should be the basis of its approval. Here are the biggest stories from the dailies. From the Philippine Star, the Foreign Affairs Department claims that the Philippines is getting as many Chinese vaccines as China can spare. This as Beijing announced that it will donate 500,000 doses of COVID-19 vaccines to the Philippines despite facing issues of transparency and low efficacy. Filipino Star Ngayon reports that the government is targeting to record 0 casualties once they roll out COVID-19 vaccines. This after Norway recorded 23 deaths following the inoculation of the elderly using the Pfizer vaccine. Vaccine czar Carlito Galvez Jr. said only those aged 18 to 59 will take first part in the vaccination program, while they find a more suitable shot for Filipino senior citizens. Pangmasa reports that 12 persons of interest in the death of Christine Becerra have taken a polygraph or lie detector test. 5 of them have also agreed to take a drug test, and all of them showed negative results. The Philippine Air Force rendered military honors to 7 soldiers who died in a helicopter crash over the weekend. Let's get more details from Jem Avancenia. She's reporting to us live from Malaybalay City in Bukidnon. Jem, good morning. Could you give us the situation over there?
Charles, the remains of the 7 casualties who were killed in a helicopter crash last Saturday afternoon in Impasugong, Bukidnon were already brought to their families yesterday. Cadaver of Lieutenant Colonel Arnie Arroyo, Second Lieutenant Mark Anthony Kaabay, Staff Sergeant Mervin Barsabi, and Airman First Class Stephen Agarado were flown to their mother unit in Cebu City as the Philippine Air Force gave them military honors before they were brought to their respective hometowns. The same honors were given to Sergeant Julio Salvador and to Kafbus Jerry Ayukdo and Jamel Sugalang, who were with their families now here in Bukidnon and Agusan del Sur. According to Salvador's wife, her husband called her on Saturday morning to inform her that they will ride a chopper and promise that he will be home soon. She also shared to us that her husband jumped off the chopper before it crashed, thinking he could still be saved. Initial investigation reveals that the chopper encountered engine trouble and that the pilot tried to execute emergency landing before it crashed. The team were transporting supplies from the 403rd Brigade here in Malaybalay City to their patrol bases. Major June Cordero of 4th Infantry Division said the incident happened on their 3rd flight. Charles Cordero also told us that the Air Force investigating team is bound to Impasugong, Bukidnon today to conduct further investigation. Charles?
Thank you, Jem Avancenia, reporting live from Bukidnon. Devotees from different parts of the country celebrated the Feast of the Santo Niño yesterday, despite the pandemic. Manila residents attended the masses in the Archdiocesan Shrine of Santo Niño in Tondo. Only 300 mass-goers were allowed inside to ensure physical distancing. Safety markers were placed for those who attended the mass outside the church. In Pandacan, Manila, devotees also observed social distancing protocols during a mass outside of the Santo Niño de Pandacan Parish. And despite COVID-19 restrictions, the line of devotees going to the Basilica Minore del Santo Niño in Cebu City reached up to a block away from the church yesterday. Fireworks lit the sky on Sunday as the Lapu-Lapu city government kicked off the start to the 100-day countdown to the quincentennial celebration of Christianity in the Philippines. The National Quincentennial Committee also declared the Liberty Shrine as a site of the permanent display of the Philippine flag. The shrine is given such a recognition in time for the 500th anniversary of the victory at Mactan, which will be celebrated on April 27. Along with the countdown is the unveiling of the quincentennial emblem at the Rizal Park. One News's very own Danny Laurel was named Best News Presenter in the 25th Asian TV Awards. The Business World Live anchor bested 4 other nominees from Taiwan, India, and Indonesia for this prestigious recognition. In her speech, Laurel dedicated her award to her family, the team behind her show, and Signal TV. Laurel also dedicated the recognition to the country's frontliners.
In this most difficult time in humanity, this award is dedicated to the frontliners who have kept us safe. It was a year of reporting bad news, but it was your example of resilience that inspired me to wake up each morning and try my best.
Here are the stories to watch out for later today. The House Committee on Health will begin discussions on the government's COVID-19 vaccine roadmap. Representatives from the Health Department and the NTF will be present at today's hearing. The 13th person in room 2207 will be giving his statement before the NBI regarding the death of flight attendant Christine Dacera. And the MRT launches its new contact tracing app today. And that's how the day is shaping up to be. Join us later at 10 a.m. as we continue to monitor the biggest stories from sunrise to sundown. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. We're One News.